Hi, I'm Joanne, and this is my story. I currently live in Tennessee. I was residing in Ohio with my parents before meeting Caleb, my husband. I am a married woman of 28. I never thought I would get married after my horrible breakup. I'm into long-term relationships. I was scared of flings and hookups. In other words, I'm a highly committed individual. It was a relationship for over 4 years. He cheated on me with my best friend. I was crazily in love with him and I thought this would last, but maybe I was not good enough for him. He did the deed right before my birthday. He had been seeing Ashley more often than me. The day it happened, I remember it crystal clear. It was supposed to be a pre-birthday celebration. I was wearing his favorite dress and put on makeup just how he liked it. We planned to drink together and have a little time for ourselves. I invited Ashley because I cared and wanted her to not feel left out. That was the worst mistake. That was the worst mistake I have committed. I trusted her so much, and she completely flushed it out as if it never really mattered to her. All I wanted to do was spend some time after all the stress and everything in my own personal life. A few days after the incident, I received a phone call from Ashley and she was profusely crying, saying that she was sorry for everything. I was numb at that point. I didn't want to go on with it. Look, what's done is done. I don't want you to bring it up again. Please, I beg you. I understand. I didn't know this would happen, really. We were drunk and waiting for you, but then yeah, somehow magically you guys were all over each other. Very believable, Ashley. Please, Joanne, I don't want to lose you. You are my only friend. I don't even talk to him anymore. I've blocked him, I swear. No, I can't give you another chance. I'm sorry. I need a lot of time to get over this, and I'm not bringing you back into my life for another drama. Ashley and I were close friends since high school. We're like an inseparable duo. People would associate our identities with each other to the point our teacher always used to mix up our names. This betrayal shattered me. I mean, more than the boyfriend, the best friend's actions are tormenting to the soul. That's why, when I met Caleb, I had my walls up. I knew if I made one more mistake, I would never be able to come out of it. I still remember the day I met him. The faint jingling of the bookstore's bell signaled my arrival, and I stepped inside, seeking refuge within the familiar scent of old pages and ink. As I roamed through the shelves, I felt stiff. It was like my body was cautious of very minute sounds and movements. I was here for books, not for romance. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed the guy staring at me, and I couldn't deny that he was good looking. My instincts warned me to be wary, but his persistent gaze was unsettling, making me feel uneasy. Did he see something in me that I wasn't ready to reveal? Trying to ignore his attention, I focused on the books, pretending not to notice him. But every time I turned, his eyes seemed to follow me like a shadow, never ceasing to stare. I wondered what his intentions were and why he insisted on making me feel this way. I could see him slowly making his way towards me. I shifted my attention to my book, pretending nothing was happening. Hi there. Excuse me. Oh, hi. Is there something I can help you with? Actually, yes. I noticed you've been browsing through some interesting books, and I couldn't help but wonder if you had any recommendations. Oh, sure. I'm just exploring some new genres today. What are you interested in? Well, I enjoy science fiction and fantasy, but lately I've been trying to expand my horizons. Do you have any favorite authors or books in mind? I love science fiction too. Have you read anything by Octavia Butler or Philip K. Dick? They are both fantastic writers. As for fantasy, you might want to try Neil Gaiman or Brandon Sanderson. Oh, yes. I've heard great things about all of them, but haven't gotten around to reading their works yet. Which book would you recommend starting with? For Octavia Butler, Kindred is a captivating read that mixes historical fiction with science fiction elements. And if you want something mind-bending, Philip K. Dick's Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep is a classic. As for fantasy, Neil Gaiman's Neverwhere is a mesmerizing urban fantasy tale. Thanks a lot. That sounds intriguing. I'll definitely check them out. I'm Caleb, by the way. Nice to meet you, Caleb. I'm Joanne. Joanne, would you mind if we talk some more over a cup of coffee? There's a cafe just around the corner, and I'd love to hear more about your favorite books. That sounds lovely, Caleb. I'd enjoy that. The cafe was very beautifully lit, and we managed to find a cozy place for ourselves. My wariness towards Caleb eased a bit, and I could finally feel comfortable talking to him. He was polite and soft-spoken, had his beautiful hair to the side and a cute mustache that complemented his face. Overall, he was really cute. I mean, as long as love wasn't involved, I was on the safe side. I was in desperate need of a friend anyway, someone I can really trust. He and I ordered almost the same kind of beverages and snacks. We looked at each other and laughed. The waitress clearly thought we were a couple, so she insisted to give us a couple discount that was valid for that day. We knew it was a good offer, so we took it. Sorry, I hope you didn't mind that we took the discount. I mean, it was so very tempting. Not at all. I mean, I'm all about getting things cheap. Besides, they wouldn't know. Then I'd want you to try their chai latte. It is super soft and creamy. You would totally love it. Caleb and I were engaged in a friendly chat at the quaint cafe when suddenly the door swung open and my heart sank at the sight of Ashley entering with a friend. I could feel my emotions churning, memories of the painful betrayal flooding back despite her apologies, trying to maintain my composure. I forced a smile at Caleb, hoping he wouldn't notice the turmoil within me, but it was too late. The hurt was evident in my eyes. I could feel the weight of the past bearing down on me, and I knew I had to get out of there before I completely unraveled. Excusing myself, I jolted out of my chair, not wanting to confront Ashley or her friend. Caleb, ever perceptive, noticed my sudden distress and without hesitation followed me out of the cafe. I don't care if Ashley saw me. If she had the slightest remorse towards me, she wouldn't follow me. Joanne, wait, what happened? I'll explain everything later, I promise. I just don't want to deal with it right now. He nodded understandingly, giving me the space I needed. We stepped outside, the cool breeze offering a small respite from the overwhelming emotions inside me. He had to go back inside and request a waitress to pack all the things we ordered. I made a scene. I felt so embarrassed about it. We could have had a nice time, but why today and why Ashley? I sometimes wonder, do bad coincidences happen on purpose to piss people off? There are so many other places to eat, but she decided to come at this one. I ran towards a nearby bridge and stood there panting. Caleb followed me soon after. His hand was full of all the items. Hey, Joanne, how about we sit here on this bench? I'm sorry for the things. I really didn't mean for it to happen. I actually met someone I really dislike. You know what? I have all the time right now. You can share anything with me. I mean, if you want to. I took a breath and started venting everything from the start. I'm pretty sure Caleb was trying to process everything at once. I mean, it can get a little overwhelming. He placed a comforting hand on my shoulder. I understand, Joanne. I can't even imagine how difficult it must be for you. But remember, you don't have to face this alone. And trust me when I say that guy doesn't deserve you. I mean, who could ever ditch a girl like you for some Ashley? Really? That is really sweet of you to say. You were really understanding for someone I first met. Thank you, Caleb. Well, I know it's not the same, but I do have a similar issue with my mom. She can get on my nerves sometimes. I mean, she was the kind of woman who would make mistakes and then apologize and then repeat it all over again. My dad had a really hard time with her. That is the reason why I'm actually on a small solo trip here. I'm originally from Tennessee. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Are your parents still together? No, they separated ever since I was 15. But Mom refused to leave because she had nowhere else to go and my dad's money was her only source of income. My dad refused to stay, so he left. What exactly did your mom do? Well, she put our expenses on the line with all her impulsive purchases, plus she had a drinking habit. She was not really herself every time she was under the influence. I see. As we sat there, a sense of gratitude washed over me for having Caleb by my side during this vulnerable moment. He took the courage and strength to share his own life story. Despite revisiting our shitty memories, there was also a glimmer of hope that maybe with this friendship and support, we could find healing and move forward from the pain of our past. This started a whole new episode for me. After our unexpected encounter in the bookshop, Caleb and I continued spending more time together, forming an unexpected bond that felt both comforting and natural. Even though I tried my best to keep my guard up, Caleb's soft nature and warm composure broke down the layers of my walls one by one. He had a few more days to stay before he returns to his hometown. I felt sad. I really didn't want him to go, but he promised he would keep in touch. Will we ever see each other again? I mean, I have had a great time with you. I actually would love it if you can visit Tennessee. I can show you around, take you out on cozy cafes without Ashley suddenly ruining it. I might actually. It has been so long since I went anywhere without my parents tagging along. I've left my job recently, struggling to look for another one. So yeah, everything is so messed up in my head. I need a break. Caleb left after a week and I was left with a heavy heart. I went to see him off at the airport. I made a mistake. I fell in love. Again. I was in my room trying to process everything when my phone blinked. It was Ashley. She messaged, "Are you free? Gotta talk. Please." I had no energy left to deal with this bullshit. I fell asleep. The next day, I was out applying for other jobs when I got a text from Caleb. He said he was safe and his mother was throwing mad tantrums at him. He was really frustrated, so he locked himself in his room. I'm not going to lie when I say I was falling madly in love with him. I wanted to call him. This was just the beginning. I was letting him in my life. I had been hurt in the past, and the fear of getting hurt again had kept me guarded for so long. But with Caleb, it was different. He had shown me patience, kindness, and empathy, and I couldn't deny the genuine care and affection I felt for him. We didn't keep a proper check of the date, so I am unsure when exactly we started dating. It was long distance at first, but then I decided to meet him in Tennessee. His mother was extremely impolite, but Caleb somehow managed the situation. He mentioned to me beforehand that things might get a little difficult. Isn't that what love is? Being for each other? Caleb, need to tell you something. We were sitting on a bench in the park, the sun setting in a blaze of colors on the horizon. As I looked into Caleb's eyes, I realized that I couldn't keep pretending that my heart wasn't yearning for more. What is it, babe? You've been so patient and understanding, and I've come to care for you deeply. I can't pretend that I don't have feelings for you. I already know that, love. You are so cute. I mean, I wanted to say it to you up front that I really love you, Caleb. We hugged and stayed there for a while. I wanted time to stop, like literally. I wanted to give my heart a chance, just this one time. I made him visit my parents. We had a lovely time together. My parents were more than happy to see me healing and enjoying myself. They definitely looked at Caleb as an ideal son-in-law. Soon, Caleb and I decided to tie the knot. As I stood at the altar, my heart swelled with emotions. I couldn't believe how far we had come. From that chance meeting at the bookshop to this moment of saying, I do. All those moments of vulnerability, support, and love led us to this very moment. I looked into Caleb's eyes, and the love I saw mirrored back at me was overwhelming. We faced our fears, shared our deepest secrets, and supported each other through both joy and sorrow. Our love had grown stronger with each challenge we overcame, and I knew in my heart that he was my partner, my confidant, and my best friend. But I wish we had some respite. On the day of the ceremony, his mom barged into the venue, trashing everything around and screaming loudly, saying that I was taking over their lives. Caleb confirmed she was drunk. His friends came and took her away. She later apologized to Caleb, saying that she was sad. Oh, so that's why you decide to trash on my important day. You always do that. You are beyond help, Ma. I know I messed up. Please don't be mad, my baby. I was just cautious about who you were bringing home. Just shut up. You always do this. You have done it multiple times by now, to the point it is ridiculous. Just go back to your room. Please, dear. I've changed a lot. I promise I won't ever do this. I wanted to be a part of your celebration. Then I met up with Brian, and he gave me a small thing to drink. Brian, again? You never learn. And you know what? I have no hope for you. Caleb and I were trying our best to adjust to his mom. She would have weird tantrums, often yell at Caleb for no reason, and randomly demand him to take her out to a restaurant or a drive. Caleb tried his best to take care of her rancid behavior, but it was getting out of hand. We decided to move out soon, especially after the violent argument Caleb had with his mother a few days back. Jessie's attitude was a significant source of tension and difficulty for both Caleb and me. It was clear that she had trouble accepting me as her son's partner, and her possessive and controlling behavior caused numerous challenges for us. Caleb decided we should take another holiday. He secretly booked tickets for us. Are we really going to Australia? What the? I took a sick leave from work. I told them it was really urgent. I know this would be quite inconvenient and I would probably get fired, but I can't deal with this woman. Well, will it be like a honeymoon? Yes, of course. It is a honeymoon. Why else do you think I'm pondering over certain reservations? But I also have to buy a ticket for my dad. He wanted to visit Tokyo forever. Let's see what's available. We were talking really softly, but I could see Jessie trying to eavesdrop from the corner of my eye. Damn, she must think she was missing out. Ever since that day, she would insist on spending more time with her. I mean, I wouldn't really call that spending time. It was more attention-seeking. She would barge in on us while we watched a movie together or wanting to join us everywhere we went. Caleb told me to be very careful not to leak any information about the trip, but I had some other plans in my head. I wanted to see what happens. So one evening when I was sitting alone on the couch, she came and sat right beside me. So, are you guys planning to go somewhere for, honeymoon? Actually, yes, we were. Either Japan or Korea. I mean, you can give a little bit of advice on which would be the best. Either one sounds good. I would suggest Japan. That seems just like the place for boring couples like you. Boring? You heard me. When I was your age, I was quite the stunner, and men used to flock around me in a snap. We had parties and booze and long drives. Quite the days. I would have been a free eagle if not for his wretched father. Stupid man, manipulating me to have feelings for him. Disgusting. I see. I'm telling you, woman, falling in love is trash and it won't get you two anywhere. Caleb is just a bird in your cage, trapped and flightless. So freaking boring. Okay, enough, Mom. Leave us alone now. I turned around to see Caleb was back with groceries. He looked worried and angry, and he wasn't happy with Jessie sitting next to me. He put the groceries on the table and pulled me by the hand and took me to the other room, away from the mother. He tried his best to separate me from Jessie as much as possible. He told me he was looking for a different apartment. We would leave this house. He just couldn't bear living here, even for a second, especially now that I'm part of his life. A few weeks later, we were almost on our way to Australia. We were happy, excited, and relieved. I could finally see Caleb's eyes twinkle again. Also, I sometimes wondered, will his mom really follow us? Because if she does, she would have quite the surprise waiting for her. It's been 3 days since we were in Australia. We were roaming around, seeing places, when suddenly Caleb got a missed call. It was Jessie. At first, Caleb wanted to avoid, but I nudged him to attend it. When he called, he was baffled by the amount of swearing he had to hear. Apparently, Mom did book a ticket to Japan from LA. She was standing at the Japanese airport when she called Caleb's father desperately. He said that we were in Australia. Now she doesn't have enough money on her to buy a ticket back home, so she requested him if he could manage to get her some. What a woman. I laughed my guts out, but I was scared that Caleb was going to get mad at me. Was this your doing, babe? Well, I'm sorry. She was asking about it, so I lied. I really didn't expect she would actually do that. Oh my God. I'll apologize to her. Nope, no need. You are a savage, baby. Damn, I never thought you had it in you. Wait, you're not angry at me? Of course not. That woman probably deserved it. But now the question is, should we give her the cash to come back, or should we let her have her fun? I think she should have a chance to be free. She was complaining about that a lot lately, so yeah, let her be there. Later on, we found out that Caleb's father met up with Jessie there. Caleb spoke to him regarding it and told him to be with her until we confirmed her tickets. After that, we really didn't bother knowing what went on. We were busy having fun ourselves. From that point on, Caleb and I embarked on a journey together, navigating the waters of our feelings and emotions. We took each step with caution and care, understanding that healing and growth took time. But through it all, I was grateful that I had found someone who not only accepted my guarded heart, but also inspired me to let love in again. Soon, we will be living in a different place, and finally, we could have space to ourselves without any other issues in life. We also decided to not let Jessie know where we lived. What if she barged in on us again? My parents, on the other hand, absolutely adore Caleb. They were inviting us to visit them soon, saying that we need a proper get-together. With Caleb by my side, I knew that I was not alone, and together we could face whatever the future held for us.